Welcome back to Ashion Adventurers. Last time you guys had arrived in Greystone Hollow through various means, through different paths to getting here. You guys did a kind of a short introduction, tested the waters a little bit with each other, getting to know who each of you were. Kind of like, well, we're all here for the same basic reason. There's something strange going on in the region, and we've been tasked with figuring out what it is. You all had received word at some point before arriving that you were to speak with the village elder, a woman by the name of Edda Carmel, Karmal for her last name. And she tasked you guys with, after meeting you, with kind of two goals. At the same time, while you met her, she was speaking with another man, a younger gentleman, probably a little bit older than some of you, by the name of Brother Orlin. He is a half elf, and he's an assistant cleric at the village temple to Palor. He had been talking to the village elder about some strange necrotic resonance and issues that he's been detecting, and wanted to have somebody investigate it. The village elder tasked you with following up with there was a woman that had been injured, or not injured. She had fallen into like a coma and was sick, and that was where the source had come from. Whose name is Lena
Feldspar.
Yeah, Feldspar. Yes. So you went and kind of investigated a little bit and figured out that she had been off near this kind of like a clearing nearby, near the village, and she had recently been back from there. When you guys went to inspect it, you found there was an ancient stone slab there that had been split in half by these crystal growths. You guys fought some corrupted animals and managed to destroy the crystals, and it took a shard of it back to Edda and to Brother Orlin. They rewarded you and said thank you, and Edda had also mentioned previously, which I forgot to mention, that there was the village blacksmith, Torvin Reddale, has been acting a little weird lately. And so you guys had also been tasked with that, but didn't have time to accomplish that mission just yet. So you guys have received your reward. You have gathered yourselves and returned to the inn to get cleaned up. You are covered in blood and guts and gore, a little bit disheveled. And you all arrive back at the inn, and you find a turtle sitting in the common room. So go ahead and introduce yourself and describe what you look like.
I am a giant walking green turtle. I'm bald. I'm pretty short. And I'm green. And it ain't easy being green.
All right. So
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. So you recognize.
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, you recognize.
Does
our
pizza exist
friend.
in D&D?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Does pizza exist in D&D?
I mean, there's no pizza around here, but you guys can invent it if you wanted, maybe.
Weed.
It is not my life's mission to invent pizza.
Probably good. You see these five intrepid, or four, I should say. There's five, including you. Walk into the inn, disheveled, bloodied, and covered in kind of dirt and grime. And you recognize, of course, the cleric, the man you had been on the boat with. He is there and kind of looks at you and nods. But yes, the four of you have just arrived and met with or seen this turtle. So what do you guys want to do?
Him. It seems you're awake.
Yes.
Well, my name's Demetrius. I was about to say my actual name, but
Greetings, Demetrius. I'm him.
Sorry, what's your name?
Him, like H-I-M.
Him.
Oh, cool.
Oh, we're not going to do the who's on first. Damn it.
Him accompanied me when we entered, on our way to Eastmire Hamlet here.
Yes, we fought the most valiant zombie known to man.
I
Indeed,
didn't
we
know
did.
zombies were valiant.
Well, he fought valiantly.
Ah. Interesting.
I punched my zombie to death, so I did fight a zombie too.
Hmm.
A lot of undead going on around here.
Very much so.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys
If
are
you'll
just kind
excuse me, I will.
you guys are kind of standing there awkwardly. Nanette, the innkeeper, she walks around the corner out of the kitchen and she just stops dead and looks at the four of you. If you walked in, and she goes, "Well, don't be dripping mud all over my clean floors if you're gonna stand there. Take your
Sorry,
boots
ma'am.
off,
You're
or go
welcome,
get cleaned up."
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I go upstairs to wash up
I go
really
clean off.
fast.
Where's the nearest river?
You're fine, Tim. She was talking to the other four. Unless you mysteriously walked outside and started rolling around in the mud.
No, he's clean.
All right. So it's easy enough. You guys go upstairs. You guys all have your own individual rooms at this point. There's no like showers, nothing like that. All you have to clean up is basically a wash basin, so a bowl, and you pour water into and wash yourselves off. So you clean yourselves up the best you can, and then come back down to the common room. Him is still sitting there, and I'll say you have an ale or a food, anything you want in front of you at the moment. But the rest of you slowly make yourselves back downstairs. It's about 4 p.m. at this point.
I got some bread.
Bread.
Then I asked the waitress for some cheese and some tomatoes.
They have those, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a nice, wonderful fruit platter or vegetable platter if you want. No questions asked.
Yeah. Then I smashed the bread. Then I smashed the tomatoes on top of the bread.
Oh, boy. Now you're just making a mess. And I wonder what's wrong with you.
I call it tomato toast.
Oh, wait, one of the serving girls looks at you and goes, "We could have just sliced you some bread if you wanted. You didn't have to smash it."
It's better this way.
Well, you're a strange fellow.
Indeed, I am.
All right, well, so the rest of you
I'm back.
wander down, and what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna sit at the table with him, just kind of look at the mess that he's made. Just kind of stare at him.
Greetings. Can I help you?
You're messy.
I'm not finished yet. I'm gonna eat that. Would you like to try some? It's very delicious.
No, I'm okay.
Coming
I
down,
insist.
watching this exchange,
I
and just
insist.
eyeing regardingly at both.
I know,
Curious.
please. You have to try it.
See, I have low standards, but they are still standards.
I will
great.
make them lower. Just try it.
I'm gonna sit at the table, just amused, just quietly, just watching, letting the exchange happen. This is amazing.
I'll kind of tear off a little piece of the bread that isn't quite as smashed or melted through with tomato juice and eat a little bit of the bread.
Yes. Him is just nodding his head slowly.
How slowly?
Very slowly.
Whilst I'm up in my room getting cleaned up, I'm gonna mend my my messed up boots whilst I'm up there.
You can certainly do that.
Breaded boots.
And then I'm just gonna come down, I'm gonna look over and I'm gonna see the three of them at the table and be like, okay, guess we're gonna sit there.
Ah,
So, have you heard anything whilst you were here in the village, out of curiosity?
I've heard many things like, well, what are you four doing standing there making a mess on my floor? Go wash up. And no. And you're messy. That's
Ah,
about it.
okay.
That's a good question, though. And then him waves down the waitress.
Okay. And serving girl comes over. Yes. You're not looking for more bread to smash, I hope, are you?
No, I would just ask you to smash it for me next time. Anyways,
Okay.
So on my way here, I had a bit of a run-in with an undead fellow. Would you happen to know anything about this?
Oh gosh, that sounds so terrible. So you're so lucky that you're here. You must be very powerful to do that. You'll survive one of the undead?
Not really.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Well,
I just-
she kind of looks around and she lowers her voice and she goes, well, there's all kinds of weird things going on. And she goes, that's why you're here though, right? Why? She kind of looks at the five of you. You're here to help with the undead and what's going on, right?
Sure.
Oh, okay, well, that's good.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you need from me?
Oh, well, do you have any information on why things are weird, or when it started being weird, or why it started being weird?
I don't know about that. It started being weird a couple years ago. It's just gotten worse. For context, Branch, you as a character, your character is aware that there were after maybe about 5-ish years ago. I'd have to look at my timetable, but about 5 years ago, there was a brilliant flash of light, and a couple years later, the Trifold Accord, or the writ of Trifold Accord, was signed to investigate what happened between the three kingdoms. Part of what's happened, though, is you're aware of, is that there are crystals that have started to appear and that have some kind of elemental affiliation with them of some way. Anything from fire, water, air, but also the magical elements. So there seems to be something related to necrotic energy in the region that's occurring. It started occurring after the flash of light, and it's only slowly gotten worse over the years. But that's throughout the entire continent. as far as you are aware.
Must get to the bottom of this.
Sorry, I missed that. What was that?
Him just said we need to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, yes. Yes, you do. It's an excellent task. So the serving girl, she kind of looks and she goes, "Yeah, you should. Have you spoken to the village elder? Her name's Edda Carmel.
Four of us
She's
have.
really wise.
Mm.
My grandma says that she was a little girl my grandma says that she was really old when she was a little girl. Yeah, I always get that mixed up. It's so hard to think of my grandma being a little girl and Edda not being old."
Yes, time is such a silly thing.
It is, yeah.
Thank you for the information, though. I think I will go speak with the elder.
Okay. Well, if you need anything else, just let me know. And she kind of
Yes.
walks away.
Can you take us to her?
Oh.
It's Miss Madam, come back.
What? Huh? What is it? You want?
Can you? Yeah. Can you take us to the elder, please?
She kind of looks over at the innkeeper and she goes, I don't think. No, I can't. Then that's not going to be happy if I leave. I'm supposed to stay here.
It's okay. I can take him over to meet the village elder.
Oh, okay, well, that's good. Well, okay, bye. She kind of wanders off again.
Well.
Goodbye.
Well,
we did speak to the
go
elder
ahead.
already.
Have you now? What did you guys find out?
Well, there seemed to be two things that she wished for us to investigate. Well, her and another, a member of Palor's light named Brother Orlin. So far, we've investigated a small clearing called Whisper Glen, and we found some very intriguing crystals that seem to emanate a menacing form of dark magic.
I see.
I'll reach into my pockets and drop some of the crystals onto the table.
They clatter onto the table, and if you look at them, they seem like fairly normal crystals to you. Pieces of quartz. Just first glance, they don't seem to be anything fancy.
Oh, what pretty stones. So you're meaning to tell me this is the cause of all the issues going on?
I don't think so. I think they might be a sign or a flaring of the symptom, but not the root cause.
These were growing out of a rock, some kind of stone pillar in the middle of a clearing. They did glow purple, green.
Oh.
They were glowing at one point.
Indeed they were.
So, go ahead and make make it a religion check.
That's 22.
Okay. So you are familiar, and Hadar, the cleric, can confirm with this. You're aware that crystals can resonate with certain types of magic, and that's Hadar. That's what you did previously when you were in the town the cleric. You checked it. So you can pick up one of the crystals, and it doesn't take very much. You kind of focus on one of them a little bit, and you feel a magical resonance with it, and you kind of filter through some of the magical energies that are possible. There's like necrotic, abjuration, transmutation, etc. Those are usually arcane based things, but they do have a resonance also with the divine, with druidcraft as well. I mean, death and decay is part of nature for that aspect for it. So you kind of focus a little bit on that death and decay aspect, and you feel the crystal resonate even more. These crystals, however they're attuned, is to necrotic energy. They will increase, hold, and amplify that energy potentially. And that's, which makes sense with what they're saying. Like, hey, this is something that can and probably is happening elsewhere around.
Okay.
And then Branch, or him, if you want to see the village map, it's that one in the chat that I just posted. I'll show you all the locations. Are you laughing, JJ, because you hear Taffy in the background?
Yeah, Dustin's meowing back
Yeah,
in response. It's adorable.
I'll be right back.
Aside from this, the village elder asked us to look into the village blacksmith, a man by the name of Torvin. She said that something was going on with him, and that he seemed, what is the way to put it, as though he were focused less on his work and concerned for something else, but she did not know.
This concerns me. Perhaps we should check up on Torvin.
That would probably be our best next step to do.
Well, I'm ready to head on out whenever you guys are. No rush at all, though, of course.
All right, so where to now?
I believe the plan was to go to the Hollow Hammer, where Torvin is.
You going to the blacksmith?
Yeah.
All right, to Hollow Hammer, which is just up the bend a little bit from the Weary Heart Inn. So you guys head up towards the blacksmith shop, and go ahead and everyone, like, just make a perception check for me here.
Oh, all right.
8.
21.
21?
15.
I saw 24 in there.
Make a perception check.
It was him.
Perception check.
We're going to the blacksmith.
16.
Okay. So everyone does pretty well. Hador, unfortunately, was like a 10 DC, so you don't notice. Although I believe your passive perception is going to be over a 10 anyways. It'd be a 15.
My passive perception is 15, yeah.
So you don't catch it right off the bat like everyone else does, but you kind of come to the realization after the fact. As you approach the oh my gosh, the
You cut out
blacksmith.
big time for me.
Did I cut out for anybody else?
No.
No.
No? Okay. So you guys approach the blacksmith shop, and the first thing you notice, which is a little strange, well, the blacksmith is not open all the time. You do notice that the sign above the door, so the sign above the door shows a hammer with like a hole in the center of it, so the hollow hammer. And you go up to the door and it's locked, and usually there's a set of double doors that open out into the street so people can bring their horses in for shoeing, and it's closed. There's no smoke billowing from the forge. There's no sound whatsoever, and it's eerily quiet, which seems strange. It's sure it's getting towards afternoon, evening, but the blacksmith you would still expect to be open, and it's not.
They were worried about being checked up, or they were worried about Torvin being checked on. I'm gonna be ready just in case if somebody's all gross and dying.
Okay. I mean, so what do you guys do? You guys are just standing outside the blacksmith shop at the moment.
Can I look in through like any like windows in like the front of the blacksmith, if there are any?
Yes. I mean, you can look in. You can see that the blacksmith shop is kind of split in half. So one side of the building appears to be a home, and the other side appears to be the actual blacksmith shop. So you look into the side that has the windows, which you assume is somebody's home, and you can see there's these like faint curtains that are blocking the light. But you look inside, what you can see, there doesn't seem to be any commotion. Nobody seems to be moving around. There's no smells or auras that give you off anything foul going on, but you don't see anybody, not offhand.
He must not be here then.
Are the doors locked?
Which set of doors are you checking?
Front.
Okay, so are you checking his personal residence, or are you checking the blacksmith shop itself?
Blacksmith shop. Yeah, shop itself.
So you do pull on the door, like you pull the handle, and it is locked. You walk over to the double doors, and it's just a latch. It's not locked. You open the latch and stick your head in. Opens up into a large barn-like area, wide enough for a couple of horses. You can see the anvil and the forge off to the side. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. Just you, Sethlina.
11.
You hear a little bit of commotion kind of towards the back. It sounds like there might be somebody back there, but you can't make out who it is or what it is.
I hear something. He wants to go with me.
I'll go with you.
I'll follow along.
I hear it in towards the back.
Okay, so you guys open basically a barn door, step in, and do you guys say anything, or you guys just wander to the back?
Is anybody home?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello?
So everybody else who walked in, make a perception check, except for Sethlina, because you already rolled.
19.
Oh, good.
15.
18.
All right, so you hear in a faint voice, sounds like a man that's muttering to himself, and he goes, "Just a little longer, Bran. Just a little longer, okay? Hold on." And then you go, "Hello?" And then Scar or Demetrius, you hear a voice going, "Soon, Matron. He'll be ready soon." Oh, hello? Who's there? And you see a gruff-looking man kind of come around the corner. He's a burly human male in his early 40s. He's got soot-stained skin, a square jaw dusted with stubble, and he's got really thick arms with old burns and faded scar. He's got his black hair pulled back with a strip of leather, but you can see in his gray eyes he seems tired, wary of what's going on. He goes, can I help you?"
Yes. Who are you speaking to? Who's Bran?
"Oh, Bran's my he's nobody. It's fine. Can I help you? Is there something you guys needed?"
That was very suspicious. Why are you being dodgy?
Personal business. You can kind of see he's wearing these long leather gloves that go up to his elbows. They're definitely blacksmithing gloves, thick leather. But he kind of starts rubbing his hands. He says, I'm closed for now. If there's something you need, can you wait till tomorrow?"
Is there anything on the gloves?
No, it just seemed to be thick leather gloves that they go up to his elbows. There's scorch marks on him. They're like, or not scorch marks, like soot marks, like where he's had to hold something that of like extreme heat, and so it's kind of got that burnt look to it. It's mostly on the palms of it, like where he's had to hold hot metal objects. It's kind of like oven mitts essentially. There's nothing that stands out to be like, oh, these are bad or anything like that. They just look like blacksmith gloves.
And did I hear him as well about the back and the matron and the Bran?
You did not, no.
Okay, I did not.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna take like a half step forward and say, Edda Carmel asked us to help with the strange going-ons around the area.
Oh, well, that's very nice. I'm not sure what I can do for you. I don't have anything to do with that.
You wouldn't happen to have any knowledge of the area as a blacksmith? Just out of curiosity of like strange things that happen in the region.
I mean, no. Why would you think that? I'm just a simple blacksmith. If I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. If you guys don't have any business here, please, I'd have to ask you to leave for the night. I'm just not feeling well.
I see.
I know what will make you feel better.
Well, while they're all talking, I want to kind of dip off into a corner and hide.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check. I'll give you advantage because they are distracting him.
Beautiful. 28.
Woo!
Oh, you have the invisible condition. As far as you are concerned and everyone else, like if anyone tried to look around, and in fact, I will say the rest of you don't even notice that, your rogue friend has just vanished into the shadows for the moment. But what do you want to do?
Just hide.
Just hide. Okay, you're just gonna hide and pretend you're not even there.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be invisible.
You do technically have the invisible condition. All right. What about the rest of you? What are the rest of you doing?
I'm talking to him about tomato toast, how it'll make him feel better.
He seems very confused and is like, "No, I'm not interested." No, I really don't like tomatoes.
You don't understand.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. I really would have to ask you to leave. He kind of starts moving, put his hands out, and he's like, "Please, I'm asking you to leave my shop. Please come back tomorrow."
Okay.
What if something happens tomorrow and I can't come?
Well, then I'm not sure. I hope nothing happens to you. With it could, but I'm sorry. I don't feel well to do any work tonight. If you need something, I'm sure someone will be able to help you with it. I'm sure.
Oh, I need your help.
I'm sorry to hear that. And he kind of fakes a cough. Like you can tell he fakes it. He definitely is faking the cough. But he's like, I need to get some rest, please.
No, you seem perfectly fine.
No. And he kind of like at this point he kind of turns and he's kind of like escorting you out of the barn area. Like you guys need to leave. Unless you guys are going to forcibly stop him, he's going to escort you out.
I'm going to walk out.
Okay.
Alright, I'll walk out.
Same.
Okay, so the four of you walk out, and he goes, "Yes, oh yeah, sorry. Please come back tomorrow. Okay, I promise I will help you then. In the morning if you can." And then he closes the door, and you hear the latch close, and after a moment, you hear a chain go over, like he's locking the door. And then he turns, and you don't see what happens. But the four of you turn around, and you're like, "Okay, but wait, we're missing somebody."
He clearly wanted us gone. Is there any windows around the building?
Not at this point that you see offhand. You'd have to kind of walk around the building some,
Yeah.
which you can certainly do.
Let's-
But while
yeah,
you guys
let's-
do that, and you guys realize Ermos is not there with you, what do you want to do, Ermos?
I just kind of want to stay hidden, stay alert, and just kind of listen and try and see if I can see what's going on over there in the corner where dude's hanging out.
Okay. So after you observe him, escort everybody out. You watch him close the door, shut it, put the chain on, and lock it with a little small lock. And he kind of wrings his hands together, and then takes a deep breath and trudges back to the back room where he was before. I'll say you can get to a spot where you can stealthily with your 28. Like, you're not gonna have to roll again. He rolled a 5 to see if he would even perceive you, and he touched totally in his own world at the moment. You see him go around the corner and into what looks to be like a small kind of backroom office area. And you see on the walls that there are drawings and like portraits of what you assume to be maybe his family. They're sketches of sorts, but there's also sketches of like blacksmithing implementations. Like, there's some intricate designs of what you could only describe as maybe some kind of like ironworks or some kind of metal, like things that he's been designing. But also there's sketches really close, like on the table. Like, you kind of, I'll say you can get on something that you can look into the office and see kind of over his shoulder, and he seems to be working on something, and he moves a bunch of papers together. And you see he takes the stuff, he puts it together. He has a large reinforced chest under the table that's there, and he pulls it out, and he opens it with a key and puts in the notes and closes it and locks the chest. He at that point pushes it back in, kind of puts his head in his hands, and is just like, "Be back soon. I'll be back very soon. I'll be back soon." Okay. And then he gets up and he grabs a hammer off the that's sitting on the table next to him, and he puts it into a belt loop, and kind of pulls on his cloak, wraps it around, blows out the candle for the lantern, and then closes the door and walks out and goes into his residence for it. At this point, I'll say, Sethlina, you kind of have maybe found a small window that's nearby. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Please work. 14?
Let me see.
Because I'm only peering the window. I'm not trying to, be
Yeah.
noticed.
So you kind of get near the back of the building and you see through the window. It's fogged over, and you kind of manage to kind of make something out. And as you're pushing up against it, or like partially trying to lift yourself up to get a better view, everyone else comes around the corner, and you're kind of like, "Shit, quiet, guys, shh." But then you look back through the window and he's gone. All you saw was him sitting at the desk with his head in his hands, and then he was gone when you looked back in. He didn't seem to notice you or hear you.
Do I notice anything else inside?
Nope, the window is too fogged over to make out any specific details.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna hop down under the table and attempt to unlock the chest.
Okay. You sneak into the room. Go ahead and make another stealth check for me.
Can I
Sorry, is that-
see this as it's going on as well?
It depends on his stealth check.
Another
Oh,
stealth check.
yeah, you have all the stealth and everything.
All right, straight roll.
Yes, just a straight stealth roll.
How's 23 do?
You are with the invisible condition still. You have it has to be a 15 DC for this invisible condition.
Sweet.
2024 edition.
With a +9, I'm gonna be doing pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So Sethlina, go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage through the fogged window. You got to beat a 23.
Yeah, no, 14. Got it.
Yeah, so you kind of look in and you don't see anybody or anything in there. You're like, God damn it, the window's fogged over. And it's fogged over because the window's just old. Nobody's cleaned it in probably a decade. It's just faded light coming through. It's difficult to see in. All right, Ermos, you gonna try and pick the lock? You said.
I'm gonna try and pick the lock with my thieves' tools.
All right, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand.
14.
Let me see. I didn't write down the DC, but let me check something. Pretty sure.
I like how the dice landed on a corner.
No, you don't get it. You feel your tools getting close to the picking it, and your tool slips out, and the lock doesn't open.
Can I try again?
Sure. I'll have you make another stealth check.
Okay, one more stealth check. 20.
Okay, you still feel pretty well hidden. Go ahead and make another sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand check. Oh no!
You get in there and you feel your pick is it breaks inside, and you're like, God, fucking damn it! At this point, you don't have you need that specific pick. You can go get a new one from somebody, but you don't have it here with you available at this current moment. You're not going to be able to spend forever trying to pick the lock, essentially.
Right. Can I quickly search the room to see if there's anything I could use as a replacement?
That's a good question. Go ahead and make a perception check. Or I make an investigation. It'd be an investigation.
Investigation.
That means blacksmiths have everything, so.
11.
Let's see. Random chance here. You're in luck. They do. There's something you see. Like you kind of wander out into his shop, and you find what look to be a set of fine chisels for probably more detailed work. You shuffle through them, and you're like, "Ooh, this one might work. I could probably use this." And you go back. You're pretty sure, though, if you don't get it this time, you will damage the lock to the point where you cannot unlock it, even with a key. So success or fail this time.
Okay. Big numbers. Come on. Happy thoughts. That'll work. Take 25
will be much better. All right. So you get in there. You focus. You're like, okay, this is it. I gotta get it this time. You feel the pins go ping, ping. And for a brief moment, you're at the last pin, and then click. You feel the lock snap open. You're like, oh, thank God. Okay, you have unlocked the chest.
Can I investigate the chest to make sure it's not trapped or triggered in some fashion?
Yeah, so this would be an investigation check.
15.
Does not seem to be trapped.
All right, I'm going to slowly open the lid.
You slowly open it, and it opens. I mean, you're a small creature, right? You're Kenku small.
3 feet. 3 feet.
So the chest is probably about as long as you are. It's a fairly large chest, and it's maybe about 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall, and it's probably maybe 1.5 feet deep. So it's pretty big. But you lift it up the hinges quietly, kind of waiting to hear if it's going to creak. Not a sound. It's well oiled. You lift it up and are holding it up and look in, and there doesn't seem to be much. It's kind of separated into sections, kind of like a tool chest is. And on the very top there in front of you are the papers that he had thrown in there. Hi, Daffy.
All right. I'm going to take a quick look at everything that's kind of in the chest, but I want to read those papers that are on top.
Okay. So there are the papers on top there are scraps of parchment with unusual runes. You don't recognize any of the writing for it. It doesn't appear to be arcane even. It seems to be almost a mix of some kind of language and ironically, a mix of what the sketches that Hador had made from the rubbing of the monolith on it. There's also a sketch of the monolith marked with strange crystal growths, as if somebody had colored them in or written them in and drawn them in as on the picture for it, or the sketch of it. There's also a early schematic of some unidentifiable object that appears obviously necromantic in design. But that's it. There's nothing else specific in there.
Is there pen and paper laying around somewhere? I'm assuming there is, so he takes notes.
I mean, there's scraps of paper, but there's nothing free that you can use. You recognize that all of the writing, it's not in pen; it's all in charcoal.
Okay.
But I mean, there's charcoal in the forge. You want to run over there and grab some; it's not a problem. But there's not like fresh scraps of paper laying around.
Okay. I'll go ahead and close the box. Now that I've looked at everything in there, correct?
Yeah, so those are the most important things. The other thing seems to be just like important tools. Like there's various hammers. It seems almost like a jeweler's kit more than anything else. It's got more of those fine tools used for more specific crafting and forge work than would be like, hey, I'm using a blunt hammer to forge something large. This is much more smaller.
I bang metal, make things shape.
Yeah. This is more like, hey, okay, I've made this thing, and now I need to add intricate designs to it. And this is what he would use.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close the chest and re-lock the lock.
Okay.
And then, do any of the windows open? Or are they all just like wooden frame, single pane of glass?
They're all wooden single pane glass. They don't seem to open. It seems like if he opens anything, like there's a front and a back barn door to this. It's obviously meant for horses to come in and out. But both of those doors are locked at the moment.
Okay. Can I use my newly found chisel to open one of the locks?
You can certainly try.
It went so well last time.
You never know until you try.
All right. I will make the... actually, you know what? Let's...
And Sathlina, you can make a perception check too. Since you said you were still looking through the window.
Yeah.
All right.
15.
Okay.
Okay,
Irma?
yeah, I'll go ahead and try and open the lock.
Okay.
And sneak my way out. Do you want another stealth check for crossing the room, or
no? Go and make just try to make the sleight of
lock.
hand.
Got it. That'll work. 25.
All right. So Sathlina, as you're peering through, you kind of take a sleeve and try to rub a little bit of the grime out of the window, and you see Ermos kind of dash out of the office space. He looks around, looks at the front gate where you guys had walked in originally, looks back to where you guys kind of are, and he runs to the back doors, and you hear this faint rustling, and then the gate opens, and Ermos comes out, and he closes the gate behind him, and the rest of you just kind of like, oh, Ermos, you kind of jump as everybody is standing maybe 10 feet away.
You look to be in a rush.
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
I believe we're all worried about what you are doing.
It appears to...
Maybe we should go check on the elder. After all, Father... why am I blanking on his name? Father Dorland said he would go speak with her earlier.
Okay. Well, the blacksmith had a chest. Let's walk and talk. How about that? Let's walk and talk.
And hushed
Yes.
tones, preferably.
Get away from the blacksmith's building here. So he had a chest with some diagrams and some papers. Who's got a who's got themselves a a calligraphy set of writing, some papers and pencils?
I do. If you would like to borrow it,
Yeah, give.
I give him my calligraphy set.
I'm gonna go and make duplicates of everything that I saw.
Okay. There is a roll you have to make for that. I need to find it. I want to say... I know it's an intelligence thing. Go ahead and roll just a straight intelligence check for me right now.
Okay. I have expert duplication. When copying or writing a craftwork produced by yourself or someone else, you have advantage on ability checks to produce an exact duplicate.
All right, you have advantage. The DC is going to be a 10, just so you know.
Straight. Got it. That'll work. 22.
Woo!
Yeah, plenty high.
Oh, wow.
So I will make my exact duplicates of everything that I saw in the box, and be like, okay, look, this is what was in the box. You got your diagram of your monolith thing with the crystals and all that, and then it's got them arcane runes that you got off the monolith rubbing, and some kind of weird blacksmith thing.
Do I recognize anything on any of the papers?
Like what are you looking for to see if you
Like if I understand any of the runes or anything that is written?
No, not offhand. What languages do you speak?
I speak something.
I hope you speak something.
No, I do. I speak a couple. What is it here? Isn't it?
It'd be in proficiencies and training.
Bottom left.
Oh, sorry. Abyssal, Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, Infernal.
Okay. There are hints of Draconic with it, but that's it. Like there's maybe partially like a half created. It looks like it's maybe. I'm trying to think of what good way to describe it. It's kind of like it's definitely some kind of rune, and it matches, like the writing is runic, and it matches more similarly what Hador had done of the rubbing from the monolith, but it's not the same either. It looks like the lettering or runic symbols have a mix of maybe some draconic influence into it, but it's not draconic in the language that you understand it as or read it. There's just hints of it. It's foreign. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a mix of almost like somebody is writing and using images to depict meaning. Kind of like hieroglyphs, more or less, would be a good way, I think, to put it.
Egyptian. Got it. Do any
This
of
is
you
very
recognize
interesting.
anything on any of these things other than the purple, which to me looks like what we saw?
Aside from the little thing that the drawing of the stone with the crystals that looks similar to what we saw. No, not off the top of my head. Out of curiosity, would I have any like inclination towards like the languages and the symbols at all?
No. It like what I've described is pretty much what it is. You're not going to find much more information on it. I will say, Hador, if you want to roll a religion check for the schematics, because there are some kind of necromantic design.
Sure. Would I presume that'd just be a straight roll, no proficiency and all that?
Well, it's a religion check. So I would say if anybody is proficient in religion or arcana, they can roll.
Yeah.
I'm proficient in stealing shit.
12. That's what I
Oh,
got.
yeah.
I got an 18 for religion.
Okay, so Hadar, you're not sure. You're like, okay, it's definitely necrotic. There's definitely elements of it. There's like skulls and death kind of symbols to it. Him, though, you look at it and it's more than just some like necromantic design. Like there's definitely that element to it. But this looks to be either half-made designs or objects or some kind of design to create an object, either some kind of rod or perhaps a crown. It's difficult to tell because it's not complete. It's very early rough drafts. But there is definitely designs to build something to house something else.
I am getting the heebie-jeebies.
You give me the heebie-jeebies, Turtle. With your weird tomato toast.
It's so tasty.
Got to make sure those tomatoes were ripe.
Do you notice anything about it, him, that seems interesting?
Yeah, it seems he's trying to make something, to put something inside of it, but I can't say what he's making or what he's putting inside of it.
Very intriguing.
All right, so you guys have said we were walking and talking. Where are you walking to?
I think we were walking to the Elder, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
To Edda?
the Greyhaven. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you guys kind of get that conversation. Unless you have something else to discuss, you make your way up to the Longhouse. No problem. Edda is there. She's kind of tending to what looks to be a fire in the center of the building. Him, since you weren't here last time, think. So the Longhouse is on a hill. It's the hill that looks over the rest of the settlement or the village. Think like Lord of the Rings, and when they go to Theoden's Longhouse, the house like the Rohirrim, it's that kind of design. So it's a big long building. There's a hearth in the center. You know, plenty of room. This is where people go when there's an emergency. People in the village come here for safety. This is one of the oldest buildings in town.
You got one creepy guy and a desperate blonde.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. But this is also like the village center where people come when they have problems. Not just like, hey, the town's under attack or there's monsters or something going on. This is where like Edda, the village elder, resides. So she lives here, but she also takes people's questions and comments and concerns. This is where all that gets taken care of. If there was a job board, it would be outside this building. It's like the town hall, more or less. But yeah, so you show up and Edda is kind of hunched over the fire. She's an older lady in her 70s. And she looks up at you as she's poking the fire and she goes, welcome back. I see that you have... And she kind of looks you up and down. You're still a little grimy and dirty. You don't have blood covering you anymore. But she's like, I take it your task has gone well? Is Brother Orland's task complete? Oh, wait, you already would have told her that. I'm sorry. You would have told her that because she gave you the reward, a reward for it. I apologize. Or no, she didn't. I apologize. Brother Orland did not. So she doesn't know. I'm mixing
Yeah, and
up.
I thought Father Dalaran went and spoke with her.
He probably did. So yeah, so she would know. Okay. So she just asks how you are doing then.
We are doing well.
Well, that's good. Well, what can I do for you? Please come sit. And she motions for you guys to take a seat. There's tables there, you know, like a bench table. Motions for you to come over.
I will take a seat.
I'll sit.
Thank you. Well, I apologize. I don't have anything. It's not quite mealtime for you, but for me. But what is there anything I can do for you? how is your conversation going with Torvin? Have you learned anything?
I'm gonna
Not
pull out
really.
I'm gonna pull out the diagram of
What
the
is this? And she kind of
yeah.
looks over it and she goes, I don't understand what any of this is. Where did you find
Hmm.
this?
Where I found it is not really important. I was just curious as if you had, if you recognized any of this, or might be able to tell us anything about it if you knew something.
She kind of rummages through and she stops on the monolith and she goes, well, this looks like the monolith in the village, but I don't know recognize any of these. Anything else?
Hmm.
His actions were very strange and suspicious.
Well, yes, that's why I asked you to help investigate him. He's been acting very strange, very very strange lately.
Yes, he was speaking to himself, but as if someone else was there. I believe he was calling them Bran.
Oh, well
Is
that's.
that
She kind of like takes a deep breath and she goes, well, that makes sense, I suppose. So a while back, his apprentice Bran, um, he disappeared, and he's been gone for a while, and everyone at this point just believes he was taken. And Torvin seems to believe the same. He was taken in the night, along with those others that have vanished. But he has not returned. He has been gone over a month now, and it makes sense. I guess that would explain why his attitude has changed. But Torvin had mentioned that he had accepted that Bran was most likely dead. Seems perhaps he doesn't think so, or perhaps he's just talking to the wind.
might I bring a wild suggestion to the table?
Hmm.
I don't see why not.
I what if this Bran is dead and Torvin is attempting to use some kind of ancient or dark magic, something of a necrotic nature, to bring Bran back to life, which consequently causing all of this weird death zombie stuff to happen.
Well, I don't think that would make sense. The people were disappearing long before Bran did. The people have been disappearing off and on for almost a year and a half. It's only slowly gotten more common and worse in the past couple of months.
Indeed. Hmm. He seemed rather uh, cautious of us. Would there be any way of us to get on his good side to where he might open up to us more that you could think of?
Um, he has been rather aloof even with me, and I have known him his entire life. He is. I've watched him grow up from being a babe to who he is now, and he is even distant with me. I'm sorry, I don't know how to get to him. That is why I asked your help. Um,
Hmm.
I
I
don't
s-
know.
Out of curiosity, did his apprentice uh, tend to uh, partake to certain areas outside the village
Uh,
often?
Now that you mention it, I do recall that young Bran used to go to a part of the what is it called? It's called the Edgewood Path, is what it is. She says it's a small little path that leads out of the village, um, and he would often follow that path up into the hills and wander. He would often go that direction.
That might be someplace we could investigate. Is there anything in that direction that you know of, out of curiosity?
She kind of ponders for a moment. Oh, you're lucky. She rolled a nat 20. For her memory.
Oh.
Old 70-year-old woman trying to remember things correctly. She thinks for a moment and goes, well, now that you mention it, I do know that the Edgewood path it's more of a trail that people follow. In not always, but on one part of the trail or the path there is a set of worn stones that no one knows their origin, but they seem to have once had some kind of writing. They've long been
Similar to the
overgrown.
monolith?
No, this is different writing. The monolith's writing, it never fades. It doesn't disappear with time. This are normal stones, and whatever was written on them has long since faded. It's impossible to know what was written upon them, but people do on occasion go to them and just observe. It's the only big thing on the path that I can think of.
I see. Maybe we could investigate this, just out of curiosity and just to be safe.
It would certainly be a good idea.
Out of curiosity, when she's describing the stones, do they sound and look like the one that was at the Whisper Glen?
No. The way she describes them, it seems to be there's maybe, you'd estimate, like she describes it more like a circle, but there's maybe, let me look, notes, maybe 4 or 5 of them. They kind of just jut out of a small little clearing that's just off the path. But there's other stones that have fallen over and toppled. And there's some kind of ancient writing that would have been on them that's long since faded. But otherwise, it doesn't sound similar. The stone you found before was obviously put there for a reason. It was just a giant stone slab. It was maybe 7 feet tall, and about 4 feet wide. It was about 6 feet wide from the crystals growing because it had cracked down the center. But this doesn't sound anything like this.
Well, I thank you for this information.
Well, you're very welcome, young one. I hope we can find out what is going on.
I hope so as well.
All right, what would you guys like to do next? It's about 5, 6 o'clock, so it's getting towards evening. Actually, it's getting close to nighttime because the time of year it is early or late winter, early spring.
I have my suspicions of the monolith. I'm concerned about the schematics and why it is in there.
Do you think that what is his face? What is his name? Torvin. Do you think Torvin is going to head out tonight to the monolith?
So the monolith is in the center of town.
Not the monolith, but the
Edgewood Path.
The other places, the stones where they were describing.
Yeah, so along the Edgewood Path. Edda says she doesn't know. She doesn't keep track of him or what he does.
Maybe it'd be wise for us to go at first light tomorrow.
I believe
what if it is too late?
Great. And cause them to do things irrationally. and be irrational.
I see. If you all were to go there, then I would happily follow along with you. But we must all err on the side of caution.
All right, so you guys gonna wait for a little bit and then go to the Edgewood path? Is that the plan?
I mean,
Sounds like it.
unless you want me to break into his house.
You already did that, pretty much.
I broke into his shop, and I didn't break in. I broke out. Different.
True.
Does the lady here, or most say that?
One, I was escaping being kidnapped.
I'm
other
assuming
one
that
makes-
you guys do not say this while Edda is around. We'll assume you guys have walked out of the lodge at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so you figure you probably have maybe 45 minutes to an hour. We'll say you guys go back to the inn, grab a quick meal. It was a teenage young girl that was the serving girl. Her name is Tess, by the way, and she's a little untamed red-haired with freckled hair, or freckled red. Oh my god, untamed red hair and freckled face. Get that backwards.
Untamed freckles and red face.
Yes, exactly. But she's a teenager. She's maybe like 14. That's still young, naive, but gossipy kind of attitude. That's why she was kind of like, I don't know. But she's running around. There are a couple people in the inn that come by, just for scope for everybody, because I know Bran, you weren't here last time, but the village has about roughly 5,000 people in it, so it's fairly large. And number-wise, there's maybe been 150, 200 people that have disappeared over the last couple, like year and a half. Maybe a little bit more. Some people come back and they are undead or have no memory of what happened. Some people come back and they're kind of like the lady that was sick, kind of thing. So it's all big mystery. Nobody knows what's going on. But after you guys get a meal, kind of rest up a little bit. You guys can take a short rest if you want. Since I know
When everyone walks
yes,
to their
please.
room, when everyone walks up to their room, I'm gonna slip out and head back over to the blacksmith shop.
Okay. You have maybe 15 minutes to run over to the blacksmith shop while everyone's taking their short rest. That means you don't get a short
Anybody
rest, though.
happen to notice him leave?
I don't know. Is he being
Oh.
stealthy?
Yes, I'm being stealthy. I am being 19 of stealthy.
All right. Seth, you need to roll a perception check to see if you spot him leaving then. Gotta beat a 19.
24.
Oh,
All right. You spot him as he dashes out the door as you're heading up the stairs.
Has everybody gone upstairs? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, I've got a bad feeling.
All right. Well, Ermos, what are you doing? You got about 15 minutes. You got to be quick.
I am gonna run my short, stumpy little legs over there
Okay.
and quietly slip back in the door that I left unlocked.
Okay. You slide back in.
And so I know the layout, and I know that he went into his house from the adjoining room.
Correct.
So I want to see if that door is locked.
It's
Check
not.
if the door is locked.
Well, he wouldn't lock the
Okay.
door to his house. No, but it's not locked.
And then I want to slip into his house.
Hey, make a stealth check for me.
That's not good. 13.
Okay. Make a perception check for me here.
That's better. 20.
Who's
You
in that?
push open the door to his house, and you hear it. And right as you hear that, you hear him at the front door, like he was going out the door. You hear him turn around and go, "Who's there? I know somebody's there. I heard you." And you hear him stomping kind of towards you.
I'm gonna
You hear the front
Slide
door
back
close
into-
as he starts moving in your direction.
I'm gonna slide back into the workshop and hide.
Okay, you are go looking for a place to hide, and you hear the door swing open. You cannot find a spot to hide. I'll give you disadvantage on the stealth check. He has advantage on searching for you, just so you know.
What a jerk.
You're breaking
Wow.
into his house.
I mean, it's not my fault he left the doors unlocked.
He didn't leave the forge door unlocked. You left it unlocked.
Not my fault he tried to kidnap me. That's not good. 12. 12 to hide.
Oh, you are lucky. Even with advantage, he rolled an 11.
Wow.
You managed to just jump just in time right under a shelf, and you bump into it, and you hear some stuff shuffle on top, and you're small enough you kind of scurry along out from behind and get behind a section of the forge, just as he sticks his head underneath the table looking around. He looks around, doesn't see anything, seems suspicious, kind of shifts the hammer at his belt, looks around, goes to the front lock, sees that it's locked, goes to the back, and realizes it's unlocked. He goes, oh God, Matron. Oh gods, oh gods, oh gods. And he leaves it and goes to the chest. And he starts looking at it. Let me see if he spots something's wrong. He is in such a hurry, he doesn't notice that you toyed with the lock. Pulls out a key, unlocks it, opens the chest, and he ruffles through it. Oh, gods. By the gods. Oh, no, okay. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing's wrong. Maybe I shouldn't. Not today. He kind of grabs one of his hands. Okay. He looks around the room. He's going to do another spot check. Still doesn't see you. You lucky bastard.
Hell yeah.
You rolled an 11 again with advantage.
Sweating bullets.
Damn.
Yeah. And he kind of runs.
Like, I'm sweating bullets, and this isn't even me.
He runs back to the door, or moves back to the door that you had left unlocked, and he locks it, and then goes into his house, and you hear the door creak, and then you hear this click as he locks the door. And you make a perception check for me here.
Perception check. You know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm going to go ahead and give myself advantage on that with Kenku Recall. So let's go for advantage on that. That's okay. 15.
Okay. You hear the front door open and close, and you faintly hear him lock the front door as he quickly departs. At this point, you're like going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. The rest of you guys come down to the inn, looking around, going, well, where's Ermos? What the fuck? Sathmina, you come down the stairs as everyone's going, where the fuck?
We need to move. I noticed our little small friend leaving, and I believe he might be back where we were going.
Oh. That one must be his designated watcher.
At this
Always
point,
one.
it makes him Yoda and give me the backpack and make me Luke.
Yeah.
I might as well just babysit Hermos.
All right, so you guys gonna rush out the inn to try and find what's going on?
Yes.
No, we're gonna no, we'd rather not cause a panic. We're gonna, calmly.
Calmly speed walk out of the
We
inn.
should be swift in our, mannerisms and quickly, because I have a bad feeling about this, as I said, while holding my nose earlier.
Okay.
Mm,
All right.
okay.
So since you are not speed walking out of the inn at the moment, everyone go ahead and roll a perception check for me here. You guys
He's
exit the
shitty.
inn and head towards the
21.
Whole Hammer.
12.
18.
5.
Unfortunately, Demetrius, you're not going to see anything on a 5. I apologize.
We're outside.
It's a nice floor I'm walking on.
You know, it's a nice, cool day in the middle
Just
of.
hold
Yeah.
someone's hand and just follow along.
Yeah. All right,
Okay, I'll hold
so.
your hand and follow you.
Aw, holding hands. Ra la la.
Yay. Hola.
Okay, well, so it'll be Sethlina and Hador. You two notice as you guys are heading towards Hollow Hammer looking for Urmos, you catch a glimpse of Torvin just at the end of the road as he takes a right-hand turn up the road around the corner. As he's in a hurry, seems to be hurrying out of town. But you catch a glimpse of him just as he's leaving.
Guys, we need to follow. I just saw Torvin. Let's go. I'm gonna follow
What?
after him.
Okay.
What
Torvin,
of our
follow.
little friend?
He'll be fine. Go.
If
He'll
you
be small.
insist.
Okay, then. If you are so certain of him,
Yeah,
I
the
trust
guy
you.
is very suspicious. Let's go.
Okay. Are you guys just running after Torvin and gonna just blatantly follow him? Or are you guys gonna try and be stealthy about this?
Try to be stealthy, stay far back enough, but be able to, not lose him.
Okay.
Okay.
Everyone that's present, so everyone but Urmos, roll a stealth check for me here.
Urmos is gonna go pee.
Well,
In due
I
course.
was planning on staying back enough to where I could see where
24.
Sethlina's going
21.
from a distance. If you understand me.
Yeah, you can
With
watch from
that?
a distance, yeah. But you still have to roll a stealth check for me here.
11.
Okay. Your guys' shared DC is plenty high. All of you except for Hador were over 20. So we'll say your average is 18. Plenty high. You guys feel pretty confident. You watch as Torvin every now and then kind of looks over his shoulder. He pulls the hood of his cloak up and seems kind of skittish. A couple people that he walks by go, "Oh, Torvin, hi, how's it going?" And he goes, just kind of
We're ducking in the bushes as we're passing by people so people don't notice us.
You guys don't have to
That's
pass
part of it,
into
right?
bushes or anything like that. The town is
Oh.
it's late. It's dark enough where you guys can kind of just hug to the shadows of a building and be fine.
Very good.
But people are going to bed, going into their homes. The people that are kind of going home see him and they wave, ask where he's going, but he doesn't really respond. He does take the road out of town and he heads east. Let me double check.
Out of curiosity, I was about to ask: is he heading in the same direction as the edge path that we talked to Edda Carmel told us about?
Yes, he seems to be heading in that direction. He seems to be heading up towards the lake that was mentioned. So you guys follow, get to the edge of town, and we're going to jump back to Urmos. All right, Urmos, are you done peeing?
Yes.
All right, what do you want to do? You just watched and heard them lock the door, and you're now in a locked blacksmith shop again.
Okay, I still have my chisel. I'm gonna try and open the door, unlock the door.
Okay. Which are you doing? The back door or the front door?
The side door into the house
Into
from
the house?
workshop. House,
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your sleight of hand check.
25.
You do it fine.
Ooh.
You
And then
click.
I'll go into the house.
Okay.
Unless the house blows up on me for any reason.
The house collapses on top of you. Rocks fall. You die.
Hell yeah, been there.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
I hate houses.
We've been there.
The house does not come alive.
Oh, it's a mimic. Got it.
I want to thoroughly search the house.
Okay.
Like,
what are you
top-
looking for, if anything?
I am looking for any further diagrams, any locked chests. You know, if I incidentally find a bag of gold, you know. And I'm looking for anything that may refer to the matron.
Okay. We'll come back to you. You find a couple of things, but nothing that is like damning. You'll find a little bit of gold. He has a personal chest. It is his house, his residence. So you're gonna, if you rob from him, it's a small town, and people are gonna be like, "What the hell? Somebody robbed him." Can't really pawn anything you might steal from him.
I don't know who that was.
That's weird.
But we'll come back to you. The rest of you follow our wonderful blacksmith, Torvin, up through to the Edgewood path, and it leads up into the hills, up through parts of the forest. It does get kind of dark. The moon. Actually, let me check the calendar. Are the moons out? They are not. There's a sliver of them. The new moon was yesterday, actually. So there's a small crescent moon, a little bit of light coming down, and you follow Torvin. Everyone, go ahead, except for Ermos, give me another stealth check. I'll give you guys advantage.
Oh, advantage.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
18.
Hi, Taffy.
11.
Haha, Chunky Dragon, my
10.
Chunky.
What's
I-
Taffy doing?
She is just meowing at me. She's
Just being a cutie? Is that what
she
she
is. She's probably meowing at me because Laurel's playing and not playing with her. That's what it is.
Oh,
How dare the kid?
How dare.
I know, right?
wow.
My Chunky Dragon.
Okay, so not the greatest stealth checks. You guys are average, is about 15 again, so you guys are fine. You guys follow Torvin for maybe a good 40 minutes or so. The path starts to go uphill. Everyone go ahead and make a perception check for me, and I will tell you what you see.
Is it with advantage?
No.
Damn it.
If you don't have dark vision, you have disadvantage.
God damn.
Though.
I got 17.
I got 11.
I had 7, and that was without disadvantage.
We'll roll again. Let's see if you find anything.
You said if we have.
You do not have
Don't
dark.
have.
Don't have dark vision.
Of course,
Roll
my
with
second roll
disadvantage.
is a 17.
You take the lowest of the two, Caden. So unfortunately,
7. I'm as blind as a bat.
Yeah.
17.
All right. So Hunter, you're struggling to follow the path. It's getting too dark out through the trees to catch anything, and the rest of you notice that you guys have kind of walked off the beaten path and made your way down through almost a small little like clearing that goes down into almost a small little tiny valley kind of look. I'll send you guys a picture of what the map looks like here. Not a battle map, so there's no fighting for it at the moment. Perhaps at a later date, but that is the clearing that you guys come into. Or you see Hatter, you see Torvin go into. And you guys kind of hang out towards the bottom of it. And find a nice spot to look into the clearing. And you see Torvin. Everyone except Hatter sees this.
Am I supposed to see a map?
It's in Discord.
It's
Oh,
linked to
Discord.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Not down.
Laurel's messing with something. Laura, what are you doing?
Who's being naughty?
She's climbing in my tool chest.
Oh.
I mean, technically, I'm being naughty too.
You are.
You're being sneaky.
I am
Very sneaky.
All right.
Really cool.
very sneaky.
Okay.
At least you didn't die.
Almost not.
Just
sneaky.
thinking of Ermos is making me think of don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
No, be suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a station.
Oh my
just for
gosh.
you.
No. You guys got it to activate. How about that?
You'll get fireballed. Everyone dies.
Rocks fall. You all die.
Fireball.
Yep. All right. So everyone but Hadar sees this occur. Let me pull up my notes again. So you see Torvin. He is kneeling, not quite in the center of the circle of stones. There is a sliver of moonlight that comes down and seems to be filtering into that section of the clearing. But before him, he's kneeling down, and you can see that he has this hammer that he's pulled out. And you can see that there's this almost shadowy, dark figure that's floating maybe 3 or 4 feet up off the ground. And these wisps of dark shadow fall off of it around. He is whispering something, and he says, you hear him say, Matron, it's almost ready. I'll have it for you soon, Matron. Please, just bring him back. You promised. And then you don't hear what the shadowy figure, the matron, as he seems to be calling it, says. But she does hold out like a wispy hand. And you can see it's just shadows moving. It's a little bit darker shadow. That's the only way you can tell it's a hand. And he holds up he takes his hammer out, and he holds it up, and he says, I've done what you asked. It's infused to do what you want, but the toll, I can't feel my fingers anymore. Is it worth it? Will you bring him back like you promised? And then all you hear from the final thing you hear is, when the object is finished, all will be returned to you, my son. Now go and do as you have asked the matron of ravens. Go, and the matron will reward you. And then everyone go to make a stealth check for me again real quick.
Advantage?
No.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh,
One.
nat 20.
2.
You're going to kill us all.
27.
Okay.
Let that be enough to...
I will say for everyone but Demetrius, you feel this figure, this mysteriously floating figure. You feel for the briefest of moments its gaze lock onto you and see you, even in the shadows. It sends a shiver down your spine. And then a beam of moonlight pierces the clouds and strikes the figure, and it vanishes. Or like, it pierces it, and it just kind of fades into fog and mist. Yeah. Hi, Taffy. Hi.
Taffy doesn't like that.
She doesn't. And then you watch as Torvin begins to cry, picks up the hammer, and then starts heading back down the path. He is completely oblivious as he walks past you. He does not see you. Hadar, anybody with religion proficiency, go ahead and roll a proficiency or a religion check for me.
Would that be with or without advantage?
No advantage. I will let you guys know if you have advantage.
Just straight. Yeah.
If you keep asking, I'm just going to start saying
What
disadvantage.
is it with these low rolls of mine? 12. Man, I haven't gotten a roll above 10 that isn't being helped by my proficiency.
You didn't have to get high. You had to beat a 10, so it's okay.
How about if I ask, do I roll a disadvantage and then roll with advantage? How about that?
No, I'm still going to say disadvantage on everything then. Or I'll just increase the DCs and make it really hard for you guys to do anything. That works too.
So double advantage, that's what you're saying.
Everything is 30.
Got it. Got it.
Not trying to fade T-Mod, so...
But okay, so him and Hadar, you realize after having heard what Ermos had said about finding about the matron and seeing what you've just seen, that what he's probably referencing or believes that he's worshiping is the matron of ravens. She is the god of death for this continent. she's a well-known deity. There are religious holidays and everything. So it's not surprising that he might be trying to, worship or do something for that, especially if they believe Bran is dead. But it is a little weird. Like, gods don't usually appear like that. It seems very strange.
Something is not right, is what you're trying to imply.
Yeah. Yeah, so the matron is as a secondary term for the matron of ravens. It should be the matron. She's known as the veiled keeper in this world. It's the Raven Queen, same thing as the matron of ravens from Critical Role, the god of the Shadowfell. But she's known as the veiled keeper here. She's revered as the shepherd of souls and guardian of fate. Yeah. So you guys the two of you think it's very odd that the matron would appear in such a remote place for some reason. Doesn't make sense. But you can absolutely understand why Torvin might think so.
So for me and Hador both understand that was the matron of ravens.
The matron?
Like, we know.
It's a good representation of her. But I would
so maybe not, if it's not her, just like her kind of
like an avatar or representative of her.
So Hadar, you're not sure on that question. You were like, okay, I've seen or heard of depictions of her looking like this. You looked at it, and I'll have you make an intelligence check for me here. It's a straight intelligence roll.
Yeah.
You are like, this is strange, and I've heard of depictions of her looking like this. That looks like it could have been her.
Okay.
Does anybody know what that was that we just saw?
It appeared to have been the matron of ravens.
The veiled keeper would be what her name is.
Or, yeah. Yeah, the veiled keeper.
Okay.
Are we gonna keep tailing Torvin, or are we going to confront him now?
He has walked. He just walked past you guys. I mean, he's maybe 100 feet down the path.
Because I think we could either confront him now without there being a commotion in the town, or no.
I'm gonna come out of the shadows and be like, Torvin. I'm gonna have my bow ready and aimed at him.
You hear him go, ah! 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 And he turns and he starts running away. Totally scared because you just jump scared the hell out of him.
Can I shoot him in the leg?
You're gonna shoot the man in the leg. You want to try and shoot him in the leg? Go for it.
Like,
if somebody else is gonna try and stop you, they can try and stop you.
How far am I away from
try
to stop her?
You guys are right next door. Like,
at least I'm just robbing the guy. I ain't shooting him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chase after him, and I'm gonna try and cast Entangle on him.
Okay. Well, so first Athena said you want to try and shoot at him. Are you going to actually try and shoot at him?
Like, across the bow, kind of get him to stop.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay. 15?
You shoot your arrow, and it goes flying past him, maybe 5 feet away, and he screams even louder and seems to pick up speed. He's terrified at this point. He doesn't know what the fuck just shot at him, who jumped out at him or whatnot. It's the middle of the night at this point. It's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Okay. Him, you said you were gonna chase after him and do entangle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the range on that?
90 feet.
Okay. Ooh, that's gonna be tough because he was about 100 feet ahead of you. He started running.
He
Okay.
started running too.
Yeah. So,
After.
all right. Make a. We're gonna do this a little bit. I want to have you roll a d20, and I'm gonna have
Okay.
Torvin roll a d20.
Just straight
Where's-
D20.
Just a straight d20 him.
Okay. Dang. I could have had the 19.
All right. And Demetrius, are you running after him as well? Demetrius.
I thought you said roll a straight D20.
Oh, that was for him because him was gonna cast.
Oh.
You can run after him if you want. That's totally fine. I just want to know because then you
I'll
can
run
roll as
after him?
well. It's totally fine. I just need to know who's running after him or not.
I'm gonna run
Yeah.
after him.
Are we all doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll say thematically, here's what happens. Sethlina goes to fire. You shoot your bow. Hador is like, no, don't shoot. And then Demetrius and him dash after Torvin. So you guys are Demetrius. You have a farther run, so your DC is not going to be as high. Or you have a shorter run. I apologize because you run faster than everybody else. You're 40 foot, and everyone else is 30. He's just staying out of range. Demetrius, you get close. You can see him about 40 feet in front of you. You're running down the hill. Everyone else is kind of falling behind. Demetrius, go ahead and roll another d20 for me here. Just Demetrius.
Oh my god. 3.
As you're running, you get caught. Your foot caught on a branch. You stumble a little bit. It slows you down, and you see Torvin round the bend, down the path, and he's just screaming his head off. You are running. You kind of catch up to Demetrius, but Demetrius is still busting ass. Everyone else is starting to follow after. All right, Demetrius, one more roll for me here. See if you can catch him. Ooh. You gotta roll high.
20.
Oh, you are lucky.
No!
Torvin rolled a nat 20 as well. But
Wow.
he has minuses because you are a monk. So you kind of focus yourself, and this burst of energy, you just see yourself focused. The world vanishes other than catching Torvin. You just watch as Demetrius is slowly moving faster than you, and then suddenly there's this burst of speed, and he's just sprinting faster than you can run. And you lose sight of him, and everyone else kind of loses. You all lose sight of each other. Demetrius, you jump off a log that had kind of fallen over the path that was there, and manage to tackle Torvin to the ground as he's going, who are you? Get off me! Leave me alone! Get off of me! And he's trying to hit you, but you manage to just pin him down.
Mm-hmm. Got him.
About 15-20 seconds later, you see him kind of come run up to you. Okay. And then another 30 seconds later, Sethlina and Hador come jogging down the path. So it's been about a minute. You're holding Torvin down into the dirt. His hammer is kind of rolled off to the side, but you've got his face down in the dirt, and he's panting and crying. Who are you? Let me go. What are you doing?
Why are you running?
Why wouldn't I be? You jumped out at me. In the forest. Do you know what kind of animals are out here? And you shot at me.
Hey, it wasn't me. I didn't shoot you.
I told you to stop.
Someone else.
What makes you think I was going to stop when you shot at me? I don't know who
I
you
didn't
are.
actually shoot you.
Yeah, he's
Shot in your general direction. She didn't actually shoot at you.
Yeah, says
I would
you.
have killed you.
Oh,
If I wanted to, I would have killed you.
She's a
start
pretty good
talking.
shot. She would have killed
Oh
you.
my god. This is not how one has a proper conversation.
Oh, shut up. No one cares about your right and wrongs. We need answers, and we need them now.
Yeah.
Like J.G. Whitworth.
Well, you want me to send him up or keep him pinned?
Wow.
I mean, he's trying to
Oh,
break
so
free of the
he's
grapple,
just
but we're just
Oh, he
gonna
is?
say
Okay.
he's trying, but he's a blacksmith. He's not skilled in this. He's not like
Okay.
you can get him into an arm lock and hold him down and no problem. It's not even a struggle for you. I mean,
Yeah,
for him,
I'll
he's
get him an
obviously
arm lock.
struggling, but you're just like, whatever.
Okay, I got him an arm lock.
Sounds good. All right, what are you guys
So you
gonna
were
do?
speaking with the Veiled Keeper, huh?
Sorry, say that one more time for me, JJ.
You were speaking with the Veiled Keeper, Torvin.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We followed you. We saw it all.
I didn't. No, you. I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you following me? What is wrong with you people?
Let's pull my blade out.
You gonna pull a blade out?
Yeah, I want to persuade
I'm gonna,
him.
before she even gets the chance to do that, I'm just gonna grab her arm and be like, no.
I mean, so okay. So
I'm in.
go ahead.
Why not try?
What do you want to try?
Why not try to intimidate him?
Okay, roll an intimidation check.
Me or because she was one of the. I was
If you're assisting
suggesting,
her,
like-
then she can roll with advantage.
Okay. Do you want to do that, JJ?
Yeah,
Okay. So you roll.
19.
Okay.
Oh.
He continues to deny that he was doing anything and that he met with anyone. He says you're full of shit. You can tell he is totally lying, but he
Because I was about to do insight check or something.
yeah, I would say I'm sorry, Demetrius, go ahead and roll an insight check for me here.
18.
So you can tell two things. One, he is emotional as all shit right now because he's scared, and two, whatever happened up there was emotional enough for him to begin with. And you're not assuming, you can tell by his demeanor and the way he's acting that he's in a part ashamed of what happened. So he's not going to admit anything. He's just, it's that I don't want to admit it because I'm ashamed of it kind of attitude at the moment. So you get the impression that no matter how much you try and hurt him, blackmail him, torment him, whatever, he's just not going to talk.
With those kind of things.
Try to snap his neck. Then?
You could snap his neck and
No.
kill him? You mean if
I-
you really want to?
No. Absolutely not.
We also are just trying to figure out what is going on with him. Obviously, he's talking to the Veiled Keeper and trying to save somebody dear to him. And I'm saying this out loud where he can hear because I'm trying to get him to,
Mhm.
pay attention.
So make a perception check for me, Sethlina. Just Sethlina.
24.
As you're saying this out loud, like he's still struggling and kind of sobbing. He seems to gather himself a little bit, but you see his eyes dart to where his hammer fell and then dart back to the ground. Like he glances at it and then that's it.
Don't even think about it.
He doesn't say anything.
I'm going to grab up the hammer
Okay.
and take it away.
So it will. He's not like, you pick up the hammer and the hammer is just a blacksmith hammer. It looks worn and used, but the head of it, the metal piece, seems to be in an unnaturally pristine condition. And when you touch the head, it's faintly cold.
I want to use detect magic on it.
Ooh, okay. So you cast detect magic. There is a faint necrotic aura coming off of it, but strangely enough, you detect that there is magic coming from him in some way, from his arms and hands.
Pull up his sleeves.
He still has those
Is
gloves
he wearing
on.
gloves?
He's still wearing the gloves.
Take off his
Alright.
gloves and then rip off his sleeves.
Well, you don't have
Or
to
at
rip
least
off
pull
his
him up.
sleeves, but
Pull him up.
you
Oh, I'm doing it.
So you pull off his gloves, and he kind of struggles. He's like, "No, no, no! You'll ruin everything!" And you pull off the gloves, and you see, like, as you peel off the first one, at first you're like, "This is weird." I'm like peeling, and then you see as you peel it off, like you have to peel, and you see dead, rotting flesh begin to peel off of it. You get down to his fingers, and the tips of his fingers are rotted, gangrene gone, rotted, and like pus filled, and it's just the tips are just bones. You go to do the other side, and it's the same thing. And he goes, "No, no! What are you doing? You'll ruin everything!" Ah! And he screams in pain, and then his arms just go limp. The magic that was on his arms begins to fade, and you watch as the hammer's magic also begins to fade.
You guys having a rough fucking night.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just I'll throw him to the ground. So I don't know.
You throw him to the
You're
ground, and
bad.
he can't like move his arms above his elbows. Like he like moves, and it's just his elbows moving, and the rest of his arms are rotted flesh. And he just starts
You
crying there.
you alright there?
I mean, he's just crying, and he goes, "Bran will never come back now. You don't know what you've done."
You do realize once that someone's died, they aren't coming back, no matter who wants to.
He's gonna
come
be
into their
dead
own
now because of you! Because of you!
I'm gonna step up to him and kind of like kneel down to him and be like, please, like, here, take a deep breath and please tell us what's going on
Right,
so that we can
you
understand.
You can try and calm him. You need to make a persuasion check. Unfortunately, you have disadvantage for having your compatriots rip his gloves off and, pin him to the ground.
You're welcome.
Disadvantage? This is not going to be fun because I have a
Mhm.
+1 to persuasion. Thanks a lot, guys.
I mean, it was kind of on you to have a +1.
I did
6.
nothing wrong.
Yeah, he doesn't respond. He's just an emotional mess at this point and
Gonna
incoherent.
try to persuade
babbling.
him.
It's not going to help.
No,
All right,
okay.
well, we tried to persuade him before.
No, he is an emotional, quivering mess at this point.
Okay.
You guys
I'm gonna
have-
knock his ass out. Like, I want to
I
knock him
can
out
do that.
cold. Good. Somebody knock him out cold. We're gonna take him home and drag his ass there.
All
And
right,
then
I'm
tie
just
him
knock him
to
out.
bed.
Beating up this man.
We're gonna just,
What?
if anybody looks, we're gonna just say he
I
was
need
drinking.
to roll something to knock him out.
You would need to roll to hit. Just roll a d20.
We're gonna get him home
Oh, just a
safely.
d20?
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to
Don't
hit him. He has
worry.
an AC of 10.
Wait,
This
so I don't
poor
do like armed
guy.
strike? Is that
You still have to hit him, so you still have to roll to hit.
We just want him to shut up.
26?
Plenty high. He has like 4 HP. You can knock him unconscious with a single punch.
At least he's shutting up. And we can tie him to the bed.
Yeah, you knock him unconscious, and he's just sobbing, emotional mess.
Good.
You all are so
Wait,
much trouble.
I
If we had done
I asked
things,
that Evan because I was like, is it a attack roll or just a straight d20? That's what I was confused about.
Yeah. So it'll be when I say to hit, you still have to roll to hit. So whatever attack roll you would normally do, you would roll.
Okay.
All right. Somebody put a cloak over him and just, we're gonna take him home. And then hopefully that'll
you all are
calm him
such
down.
trouble.
Have a cloak.
You all do that. I will go back to that clearing. I still think there might be some clues there.
Well, that's fine. Well, we want to hang out here while he goes looking around, just in case if something happens.
Does anyone?
I will stay back and watch over.
Okay. Well,
I want nothing to do with the harm of this man.
Mm. All right. Well, Hadar, I can tell you,
I had-
you can go back.
But he's not harmed. He's knocked out. So
Yeah.
Hadar, I can tell you can go back. There's nothing obvious there. Nothing that you would be able to find.
Hmm.
There's no residual energy or magic or anything at all. It's
Mhm.
just a clearing. There's no crystals either that you can find or sense.
Okay. I was just mostly wanting to get away from Zephina and Scar's or Demetrius's nonsense mostly.
Yeah.
Like out of frustration. And to just try and find maybe that there was maybe something there.
Yeah, we can totally say you get frustrated, you run up there or not run, but you go up to investigate. You're gone for like 10, 15 minutes. Kind of center yourself, look around. You don't find anything. Kind of muttering to yourself of like, God damn them, like they're causing, we could have solved this so much easier. You kind of voice your frustration out loud, and then when you've calmed down or kind of centered yourself, you return back.
Don't curse against your god.
The gods.
When did I do that?
The gods don't care if you say "Gods damn it." They don't give two shits about that shit.
Gods don't give two shits about us.
All right, so
Unless we're tasty.
you guys
So,
hang out
taking
there
them back
waiting
home.
for.
After they're done, taking him back home without hurting him.
yes, I can carry on.
You guys can do
Hands-
that. I am going back to the Weary Heart Inn.
So are you guys
He's
going to leave his
unconscious
gloves?
and his hands are rotted off.
Yeah, are you guys going to leave his gloves and the hammer behind, or are you taking that with you?
Taking everything and putting everything back on him.
Okay. It's a mess. Like, it's sloppy and gross, but you managed to
Gross.
kind of push everything back in. It looks funky because it looks like there's bunched up skin or like rot under certain folds of the gloves. But you managed to kind of put everything back on him as best you can, tuck the hammer into his belt, and you throw him over one of your shoulders and head on into back down the path.
Hadar, even if you are frustrated, even so, how do you think the rest of the town would feel with this half-dead thing? They would probably kill him themselves.
But there could have been a more peaceful solution to this. One where
Yes.
we could have gotten more
Mm.
answers than we
He's
have
being peaceful.
questions.
He hasn't started crying anymore. We're gonna take him home and
He's
try
knocked out.
Because you
to
knocked him out.
He's knocked out, but he's not dead. So I'm not sure why you're
I'm
upset.
not gonna kill him
He's-
some more. Yeah,
I
he's
could've
already
just
You can
killed
tell
him.
my
dead.
frustration at this. You could tell
I
Haddar's
know.
frustration at this point is just like
Let's
through the
take
roof,
him
and he's just like,
home.
Take him home. He's knocked out. Like I said, I could have killed him, but I didn't.
Put him in
Knocked him out.
bed.
So
Bring him something, maybe some water. Maybe we'll find something in the house when we take him to his house. So let's go.
All right. So as
Cool.
you guys pick him
you
up
may do that.
and start lugging him around, you all know a couple of things. He is genuinely alive. He is not an undead. He's not a zombie. He is alive. He has a heartbeat. He's breathing.
We
blood
do.
coursing. Like, yeah, you can tell he's whatever's happening to him is not. You don't know what's happening to him. Something is happening to him, but you're not sure what.
Which is why I didn't kill him.
While you guys are going back to town, we'll jump back to Ermos. All right, Ermos, you have a good hour and a half to ransack this guy's house.
Oh, and I ransacked.
You are going to ransack this poor man's house. My God. Okay, I'm not
See,
going to have you roll for
here's
it.
the thing.
You find.
Take
I
every-
didn't.
You
I
find.
didn't know what kind of night this guy was gonna have. Okay. You know, being robbed. Okay, shit happens. You know. Oh, all right.
it does happen.
This dude just
I just want
is
to point
having
out that this
a
is
rough night.
I just want to point out this is where you guys are supposed to have your bastion. You guys are not doing good so far at trying to build the goodwill of the people by robbing the blacksmith. Just saying.
I haven't
Oh, you're
robbed
stealthy
Yeah.
yet.
All right. Well,
I mean, it only matters if you get found out.
Yeah, we've been pretty
he's gonna tell people. Besides the point. Okay, Ermos. So you find he does have a cabinet with some fine silver, like silverware for it.
He can keep his silverware.
You're gonna take his silverware. Okay. Again, you're not gonna be able to pawn this anywhere in town.
Okay, forget it. He can keep his damn silverware.
Anything you steal here that's a valuable that people know other people have, it's like going, "Hey, I stole this jewelry from Joe. Oh, that's Joe's jewelry? Huh? No wonder he said it was missing. You stole it." People
No,
don't
it
know.
looks like Joe's stuff.
It
But
just conveniently looks
I
like it.
found it.
Yeah, it fell off a truck.
it's crazy how I found it. Finders keepers, right? I mean, it was elsewhere.
Possession is 9/10 of the law,
Yeah, unfortunately,
especially with necromancers.
doesn't work that
Yeah.
way here. You will also
Okay.
find he does have a locked chest, like it's a money chest, because there's no there are banks, but you're in a village that has looks to be maybe his life savings in it. There's maybe I would say maybe 10 platinum. Actually, let's roll some dice here. We'll find out how much. We'll make it random. Find the page. He has 7 platinum, 694 gold, and 87 silver pieces, and then maybe about 800 copper. He mostly seems to trade in copper and silver.
Fuck yeah, I'm coming up.
Are you going to steal his entire life savings?
Not all of it. I am gonna take. I will take
A finder's fee.
5 platinum.
Oof!
I will
Robbed him
take 500 gold and leave the
Hmm.
rest.
Yeah, he's going to open that thing and be like, "Holy fuck, I've been robbed."
Yeah.
You literally just robbed him blind.
Maybe you take like 10 copper and make people like, huh, this
Okay.
looks slightly off.
Write down that you took that
Wouldn't-
much, and
Done.
we'll make a note of it.
Well, you don't have to note it. Nobody knows.
I am noting it as the DM. I need to note it.
You
Yeah, he needs to note it.
You don't have to.
He has to. He
It's good
has
to know
and
that I
will.
have sleight of hand as well. I might need to borrow some.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proficient with sleight of hands too, so
Yeah,
best part of this,
same.
the best part of
Same.
this is nobody can confirm nor deny where I've been.
That's true. Very true.
Y'all are the ones who tried to shoot him. You tried to stab
Hey,
him. You, beat
you
the
don't
crap
know
out of
any
him.
of this either.
You don't know what it is either. What are you talking about?
Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah,
You
you
saw
just
all-
I
saying.
feel like I'm.
You
I-
don't know
I'm
either.
the one- I feel like I'm the one like lawful good person surrounded by a bunch of neutral evil people.
Chaotic
okay, we'll
evil
break
at
you.
this point, or
No, I'm
chaotic,
chaotic
neutral.
good.
Yeah, chaotic evil.
Just chaotic.
I
and
haven't
neutral.
hurt anybody.
Good.
I haven't hurt anybody.
Pure chaotic, and I'm the one like lawful good, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're
I
the
mean,
I
I'm
can't
lawful
this
evil.
party's
So...
great.
Okay,
Bran has
okay.
done
What
no
else?
wrong.
Okay,
What-
moving on.
What else did I
moving on.
find? What else did I find?
So he does have a couple of books, just normal history books, nothing super fancy. There is, of course, he has like smith's tools. I mean, other than that, he doesn't really have a whole lot of wealth. Most of the stuff that he has that looks like it might be worth something is rather large. Like he has it looks like it's a bunch of metalworking things that he's crafted himself over the years to kind of just add to the flavor of his house. For it. That's about
Anything matron related?
No, surprisingly not. You search through his room and his personal rooms and the house. You find nothing else related to the matron. I will say you find like a book of prayers that are to like the various gods, which is not uncommon. You've seen
No.
other people have this book that don't, directly worship. They're not like clerics or anything like that. And it's mostly a prayer book for like holidays, or special events. He does like you look through the book and you can see the section that's prayers to the matron or to the veil keeper. Those pages seem to have been the most worn lately. Like he's read through them. There's like drops of water, like where he's cried on the pages or something to that degree. But otherwise, there's nothing else, nothing obvious that says, "Hey, something shady or weird's going on here."
Okay. I will let myself out.
Okay.
We don't make it in time
Very
to see him.
sneakily. I will sneakily let myself back out of the building.
No, I would say we probably took him
And-
maybe 45 minutes to an hour to ransack the place for everything. Like
It'd be funny.
he did it
And,
stealthily. I mean, you guys were gone for like an hour and a half at this point.
And I'll head back to the inn, go directly to my room,
Okay.
and go to sleep.
All right. The rest of you return to the village, Greystone Hollow. You guys kind of have Torvin over your shoulder. Are you guys bringing him to his house?
Yes.
Okay. Is
Yep.
it easy enough?
They
You
are.
find a
I'm going
key?
straight to the end.
Okay. Header, you head straight to the inn. Him, are you going with them, or are you going to the inn as well?
I'm going with him.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stick by the
Make sure he doesn't
blacksmith,
get murdered.
Torvin. Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure Torvin is not murdered
Okay.
ever.
Fair enough. So you guys get to the front door for Torvin's house. You ramsack through his belongings, and you find the key to the house. It's not super hard. You unlock the door and bring him in. You could bring him up to his room and set him down on the bed and leave him there if you want. He's still out cold. He'll be out cold for at least another 30 minutes.
30 minutes isn't that long to wait.
Mm,
You guys gonna wait for him to wake up?
yeah.
Okay.
That's rough.
He immediately
Surprise.
he wakes up and sees you and begins screaming at the top of his lungs.
Restrain him and cover his mouth.
Okay. Big moment.
It's not like we can do
Oh,
anything.
God.
You hear some commotion outside the house. Hey, what was
Yes.
that? Where did that sound come from? Who's screaming? What's going on?
Do I need to roll something to cover his mouth? Like
You've covered his mouth, but people heard him scream. People are coming by to see what's going on. They're looking around. Like you can look out the window and you can see people outside with lanterns, like looking outside their window, going, "Huh, what's going on? Where did that sound come from? I heard it too."
Oh,
Regretting
what
life choices.
situation I have put myself in.
What do you guys want to do? You know, the moment you remove your hand, he's gonna start screaming.
Torvin, we brought
Torvin.
you home.
We brought you home. You're alive. Shut the fuck up.
I wasn't
Yeah,
be like
he's-
that mean.
He is incoherent and delirious. You can see it in his eyes.
I mean, I
He's
could
got
just,
wild
I could just
wild
take
light
off
in
his
his
gloves
eyes.
again and I could just take off his gloves again and show him to the people, and they'll kill him. So, you want to do that, JJ?
Oh, Jesus.
Perhaps one of us should walk out first and explain the situation
Sure. Go ahead, Turtle.
before.
So we can explain the situation? There's. Oh, God.
I will do my best.
We just found him in a delirious state.
All right. Well,
And we
so
brought him
Hador
home.
and Ermos, both of you go ahead and roll perception checks.
Oh, Jesus.
This is to
We
see if
found
you
him in a
heard the
delirious
screams.
state.
13.
10.
Okay, Hadar, you didn't hear the screams. You were just like muttering to yourself and didn't pay attention to it. You're up in your room. Ermos, you heard the scream and you heard it suddenly cut off. And you're just like, oh, fuck.
Could I tell where it came from?
Somewhere outside. Hi, Taffy.
It was Taffy.
It was Taffy.
Just murdering people.
Now she's mad at me because I
Oh,
got up to
boy.
pet her and she's like, no! How dare you?
Nope, going back to sleep.
Okay, you just kind of roll
Curiosity
over.
doesn't kill the cat.
Go over and continue my long rest.
Okay, I'd say Sethlina, and you kind of look out the window. It is, I assume, dark in Hadar's house. You guys didn't light anything at the moment. You didn't say you did. But you see a couple people walking down the street with lanterns. A couple people meet outside Torvin's house. It's like, oh, did you hear that? Yeah, I heard it too. Where did it come from? I don't know. Over here, maybe. They look around, and one of them walks up to the door and goes, Torvin, are you okay? And they wait a second. Torvin? Oh, okay.
Well, we're gonna...
I will go and handle this.
Yeah. Tell him we found him delirious, because he is pretty delirious at this point.
I can't imagine why.
Him goes down, or goes to the front door,
Okay.
and opens it.
So as you open the door, you can see that there's three people in the road, and they're splitting up to walk down to other houses. There's nobody standing in front of Torvin's house anymore. But one of them you open the door and they go, oh, hey, oh, somebody's at Torvin's. Oh, wait, who are you? Where's Torvin?
Where is the elder?
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
We need the elder immediately.
Whoa, why? What's wrong? What happened?
Torvin is in grave danger. It seems he has cut a pact with a god.
What?
And is in over his head too much. He has lost his hands.
What?
We must get the village
my
elder
gosh.
immediately.
Oh my god. By the gods, what? You hear that? Torvin lost his hands. The gods are here. Oh my gosh. Ah! And one person runs off, kind of skitterish and scared. The other two were kind of like, oh my god, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? One's like, go get the elders. The other one's like, but, oh god, I got to go see my family. I'm going to make sure they're okay. Make I'm going to say a persuasion check just to kind of try and calm them down.
Oh god. The 6.
Oh god.
Oh, they rolled an 8. The other person runs off to go get the elder, and the other one kind of looks at you for a moment. He goes, my family, I need to check on them, and then dashes down the street.
Your family is okay. Oh, bye then.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, well, he'd like in turtle fashion.
Alright, I go back to
We should at least light
Torvin.
something.
Yeah, I will light whatever Torvin has around. I'm sure he has some kind of lanterns or candles.
yeah, you guys can light something.
I'll light them all up so it doesn't look like his house is just dark.
Okay.
And then I go let everyone know that the elder is coming.
Good, she should at least know.
Okay, so about 10 minutes go by as you guys are lighting. Like, Scar, I will say at this point you managed to stuff something into Torvin's mouth, and he is struggling, but he's got this wild light to his eyes. Like, he is.
I just hold him
a fair-
gently. I'm not like arm locking him, just like holding him down.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
Yeah, totally fine. So he's kind of got that like feral look to his eyes, wild, dismayed, shock. Like he is just mentally not there at the moment and doesn't seem to understand what's going on. And he can't seem to move his hands either. It's best way to think of it is
Is it happening?
the man with a broken mind right now. And he has a wild light to his eyes when he looks at you guys. You've gagged him at this point, so muffled screams as you did that. But you guys kind of look out the window and you can see there's a small crowd gathering outside. And you finally hear somebody go, "Make way for the elder. The elder's coming through." She knocks on the door.
I'm gonna get to the door and invite her in and let her know that he is not well and is not good.
She goes, "Oh, okay. Well, let me see him." And she kind of emotionally walks inside, shuts the door, and everyone else is kind of like, "Oh, what's going on? What is happening? Oh, is Torvin okay?" There's whispers. There's definitely a lot of tension outside. It is like midnight, and people are freaking the fuck out over this shit. It's almost a mob mentality out there. But she comes up to hi Taffy. She comes up to the room, and are you guys going to stop her or anything, or explain anything? What are you guys doing?
Just let her know what we encountered and what we saw.
Okay. So she looks at the.
I guess he's not. Well, tell her.
He's not all
told
there.
us he's not well. He's not going to admit something, or he's kind of trying to remember what you told us when we were pinning him down and trying to interrogate him.
It's like shame. He's ashamed of something.
Like shame. Like he seems shameful of something, and I mean, he's definitely not well, but he's not wanting to admit something.
Okay. She goes, "Well, that's very strange. Well, let me see him." She looks around at the three of them and she goes, "Oh, what happened to your friends, the other two of you? Where are the rest of you?"
They got sleepy.
Okay. That is odd, but okay. She kind of walks in and she goes, "Torvin, are you okay? Why is he bound? What have you done to him? Why? You can untie him. It is fine."
Be prepared.
I can, but he's going to be very wild because it was very feral when we tried to get him.
Okay.
We have something very grave to show you.
Make an
Please.
Insight for me, Scar, real quick.
You said insight?
Yes.
Oh God. 9.
Okay. You don't catch anything. Sorry, Sathlina, you were saying that you.
Oh, I was telling her, please, prepare yourself because, after we have explained what we saw and what, at the clearing with that the magic and everything, that, to prepare herself, and then to be still and calm while we I gently try to take off a glove.
Okay.
And I try to persuade her to just be,
You begin
calm.
to peel back the glove and the rot, and it's just skin rotting off. And the smell hits you. You didn't have the smell the first time, and it's just like rotted flesh, gangrene, the smell of death. And she kind of looks at his arm and she goes, "Oh, what happened? Oh my gosh, by the gods!" And she goes, "Oh no!" She puts her hand on yours and stops you, and she goes, "Oh, I think we best get Father Darlon and Brother Orland too. Would you ascend for them, please?"
Me or
she just says it to the room.
Oh, yeah, I'll go. Should I go?
Yeah.
No, you're holding him.
Oh,
should you?
Okay, I'll hold him.
Has he calmed at all, or is he still just like broken?
Still feral?
You guys aren't sure. That was what the insight was for.
Oh, inside. Okay. Wait, where's him?
Well,
Is him still with us?
you're holding him, so
I'm-
I mean, him can go get him. Go get the brothers.
Yes,
If you want.
I shall go.
Try with haste. I know you're a turtle, but
well, yeah. How about this? I will go and get what was his face? What is his name?
Father
Brother
Delron
Orlin.
and Brother Orlin. And it would be best if you went Sethlina, because him doesn't know where the temple is. He's never been there.
oh,
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Go get them.
Okay.
Sure, I don't know where they are.
Of course, you know. Why would?
I'm not going to like burst out because I don't want them to get all freaked out with the crowd. And if they ask me, I'm just going to be, going to, get the fathers or whatever they are.
Brisk
Okay.
walk.
Easy enough. You
A
open the
fake
door to
squad,
go.
yeah.
People do ask you what's going on. You kind of brush them aside. I need to get Father Delron and Brother Orlin.
Please be patient.
Yeah, and the crowd is still, that mob mentality. People are freaking out, demanding answers, but they don't stop you in any way. You run down the road to the Radiant Temple and pound on the door.
Temple.
Father Delron answers the temple door, and he's kind of in these like his nightgown, more or less. And he goes, "What is it, child? What is the matter that this late at night?"
Get your brother and come. It is
Why?
an emergency with Torvin.
What kind of emergency?
You will have to see in person. This is not something to discuss out in the street.
Very well.
The elder is already there with him, and it is a very grave situation.
Make a persuasion check for me here. I'll let you roll with advantage.
Oh, good. Persuasion. Okay, one more. Well, 11.
Okay. He kind of looks you up and down for a moment and very well. One moment, and he closes the door. And you kind of feel like time is just creeping by, and it seems to take forever. You get to the point where you're about to knock again when you hear the latch open, and Father Delron, he's got a coat over himself, or not a coat. He's got a cloak over him. You can see he's kind of put on some slippers or boots for him at the moment. He's still in his nightgown, but Brother Orlin is fully dressed. Looks like he was writing or spending the time reading. But he goes, "Oh, what is going on?" She goes, Brother Delron goes, "Well, let us find out what is wrong with Torvin. Please lead the way. Lead the way."
All right.
All right, so they lead you back, and they see the crowd, and they the two of them, Father Delron and Brother Orlin, start muttering to themselves or saying, "Oh, this is not good. The crowd is here. We must take this carefully."
I told you. That's why I told you not in the streets.
Well, they don't know what's going on. They just say that this is a problem. The bunch of people go, "Oh, Father Delron, what do you know what is going on?" And he goes, "I'm not sure yet, my son. Do not worry. We will take care of this. Palor's light will be with you. Do not worry. We will make sure that everything is fine." And he turns to Brother Orlin. He goes, "Brother Orlin, would you please put their minds at ease for me, and I will see what the matter is." And Brother Orlin goes, "Yes, Father." And you and Father Delron go into Torvin's house, and as the door closes, you hear Brother Orlin going, "Oh, okay, I'm not sure. We'll find out what is going on. Be calm. Palor's light will be with you. It's all right. We will make sure everyone is fine." And then his voice cuts off. You can still hear him outside trying to calm the crowd as you lead him up, Father Delron, upstairs. You want to say anything else to him at all, or just let him see what he sees?
Prepare yourself. This is not going to be easy to see. And I'm going to just go through this quick rundown of what we observed and we saw. And please prepare yourself.
Oh,
for what you will see.
Very well. I do not believe it will be as bad as you say. I mean, it is
Well,
unlikely
especially,
the
you know,
veiled
describing
keeper
the
was.
matron and, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, it is very unlikely that he
And
spoke
then
to the
I'm
veiled
going,
keeper. But I will see what we can find. Your experience with Father Delron is he doesn't really believe things until he sees them with his own eyes, or he has proof of himself.
yeah, ye of little faith got it.
Yeah. No, he has faith in
And then,
people, but it's not that he's mistrusting. He thinks it's the impression that you get is that he believes people overly exaggerate all the time. Like, for example, good example of it be somebody stubbed their toe. Oh, I can't walk on my foot ever again. Ah! And he's like, you stubbed your toe. Just shrug it off, kind of thing.
so does he see the head lady
Yeah,
as he comes in?
He comes in, sees Edda sitting there, kind of trying to calm Torvin. Torvin's still gagged and just kind of wildly looking around at her and at you. And it was when you enter, he kind of freaks out a little bit. But Father Daelron looks at him, looks at Torvin, looks at you. I see. Well, perhaps it would be best if you wait outside for a moment. And he kind of walks over to Torvin.
He gently pull back the glove.
So
one of the gloves.
You're going to walk up and pull the glove back?
I'm going to, yes, I might as well do it. And just say, prepare yourself.
Okay. He mentioned,
and gently start to pull back.
Yeah, so when he said maybe you should leave, he was talking to you specifically because he caught that Torvin is not comfortable with you. Like his eyes get more wild when you're here. So I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Okay.
That's fine.
So Torvin kind of pulls back and Daelron goes, very well, you may stay. But as you pull back, he goes, oh, the smell. Torvin, what is this? What have you done? And he kind of like reaches up and kind of grabs Torvin by the shoulders. He goes, what are they? They say you spoke to the veiled keeper. Is this true? What have you been doing? And Edda's like Father Orlin or Father Taylor, calm down. And you watch Demetrius, are you still kind of holding him in place or kind of just hovering nearby? What are you doing, Demetrius?
Kind of still just holding him in place.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Well, so Father Daelron is like shaking him, so you're kind of like holding him in place, like, okay, maybe I should let go or not. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Guess I'll just let go since he's trying to shake him. So
okay. As he's shaking him, the gag manages to fall out, and he kind of goes, "Is there a fault?" And he just breaks down and just starts sobbing into he falls into Edda's arms, and he just starts sobbing, saying
he has no use of his arms.
Well, yeah, let me finish, JJ. Jeez, let me describe this scene for you here. He just starts sobbing, saying it's their fault. They ruined everything. He's not coming back. And you're just like, okay, this is what he was saying before. After about 20-30 seconds of this, just him sobbing, even Father Daelron's like, what is wrong with the man? You point to the gloves again, and you start to peel them back a little bit, and so Father Daelron reaches down and gently starts to peel them back and gasps when he sees what's there. He's like, oh, by the gods, what has happened to you? And he just continues to sob, doesn't say much, is incoherent at best. Father Daelron manages to peel the gloves back about halfway, and you can just see the flesh at this point is just dripping off of the bones. It's just completely rotted. It smells gross.
It appears that he wasn't just grieving, that he is trying to bring somebody back from the dead.
You have proof of this? This is Father Daelron speaking.
I said appears due to these injuries. Well, I don't know if that's injuries or if he made a pact with the veiled one.
Well,
he seemed very ashamed of something.
Well, how about
to
he
tell
kinda
us.
he kind of looks down and he goes, "Well, I'm definitely interested to learn more of what happened. So perhaps you should tell us both what happened." And Edda's kind of like patting Torvin on the back. Like you guys can see that Torvin is like his arms at his elbows. He's got his arms up and he's like trying to hug her like into his arms, but his hands and his from his elbow down just don't work.
Okay. So I'm going to describe everything that I saw from where he was, because we were supposed to go check on him to begin with
Mhm.
and figure out what's going on with him. So that's what we were doing. And in the meantime of trying to figure out what is going up with him, finding him in that clearing, what that made, going through the whole thing about what we saw and everything like that.
Okay.
And then just going, obviously, there's something very wrong. And with everything and the happenings that have been happening,
Okay. So
is it related to what is going on with him currently, especially for him being such an aggrieved state
sure.
and it being a liability to the entire village?
Okay. So they'll both ask some pointed questions just to kind of fill in gaps, help you answer, like describe what's happened more. Edda kind of looks to you all with concern in her eyes, and she says, "We will talk about this, your actions, a little later. Perhaps you were a little too forceful, but what is done is done." But brother Daleron looks at you both, and he kind of looks down, and he says, you said that there is hammer. It seemed to have been linked to this. Do you still have the hammer?"
Yes. Produce it.
Okay, so you produce it. He kind of leaves Tarvon to Edda at the moment, and he walks over to there's like a desk nearby, and he puts the hammer on the desk. You can watch that he casts some kind of spell. Either of you, neither of you guys can cast divine spells, right?
Nope.
Mind spells.
Are either of you proficient in religion?
No.
No.
No. Okay. So you see him wave his hands over, and he's definitely casting some kind of spell. You can see there's a faint glow for a moment, and Father Daleron looks and goes, "This is not good. Perhaps he looks. Do either of you guys have like a hammer or a crowbar?"
I have I have these tools. Is that crowbar included in that?
I have a crowbar.
You have a crowbar. No, so that wouldn't be included in a crowbar, but we'll say you guys, since you guys have a crowbar at the very least, we'll say he asks you to borrow it, because you see it's on your backpack for you, and he uses some magic with it. You're not sure of the spell, but you watch as he kind of pops the top of the hammer off pops the hammer piece, the metal, off the handle, takes the head off the handle for it. And when he does that, he turns the hammer upside down so you can see into where the hole is. And inside, as he's looking in, you can see that there are some crystals embedded inside of it, that glow faintly with a necrotic energy that is dissipating. And as you watch, the magic dissipates and is gone.
Can I ask what he did?
He says he was checking to see if there was any residual magic, and he could sense some, but it was coming from the center, kind of where the head of it was, around the circle, the inner loop. And he says whatever residual magic is there is gone now. I did not dispel it or anything of that nature. You do notice, I will say that you guys look over, and as soon as you see like the crystals fade completely, you kind of look over at Torvon, and the gloves just turn to rot and fade, and his arm is just, both of his arms are just skeletons now. There's no flesh anymore. It's just as a stump of flesh at his elbows, and then bone. That's it.
Is he still crying, or is he starting to get a little suspiciously bitey?
I mean, he's calming down. He's still incoherent. He's more like, make a medicine check for me here. Be a good way to do it.
My
Nice.
chunky dragon.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Sathlina, you
I
can
got
tell.
22.
You know this, and you can see this. He is in shock. One, it's not just the shock of, him going into a mentally breaking down, but also the physical shock of like he's in his mind he sees his arms deteriorating, like he can't feel them anymore. You've ripped the flesh off of his bones basically, which was excruciatingly painful with the screams he was doing. So it's a combination of
God
mental and physical pain. He's in shock. He's
Yeah.
not going to be coherent for a while.
Okay.
Amazing.
Good dude. Yeah.
Yes, if I didn't describe it well enough, you literally ripped the flesh off his bones when you peeled off the gloves. It was rotting flesh, but you peeled it off.
This bound to
I'm
happen.
dealing with these townsfolk. They're humans, right?
I mean, it's a variety of different races: human, dwarves, gnomes, tieflings. Everything you could think of is here. All the basic races.
Is the blacksmith human?
It's a good question. I believe he is. Let me double check. He is human, yes.
So my disdain for him as a human kind of starts to like have a little pity on him.
What do you guys want to do?
Thanks a lot, man.
I'm just gonna say, I'm glad I'm not a part of it. This is, not gonna lie, it's a shit show.
It could have been worse.
Ain't it? I mean, play it
Could have
boring.
been worse.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, it definitely could have.
It very much could have.
It could have been better too.
Yeah. Why not have some chaos?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess is there anything else you want us to do right now?
Well, I mean, Father Daleron's gonna be like, there's not much we can do for Torvin. No one in the village has any kind of magic strong enough to heal him of his wounds. There doesn't seem to be any more residual necrotic energy or magic that he can sense coming from him. The best thing he would say is it's just going to take time for him to cope and heal, and they're going to have to deal with the fallout of this as well. Edda will say the same thing. She would say, hey, tonight, how about you return to the inn and rest, and then speak to me in the morning, and we will discuss what happened further then.
Okay.
Do we need to say anything to the brother downstairs?
I would say you guys go to leave and
send him up?
No, you guys don't have to send him up. Father Daleron says he will inform Brother Orlin of what's happened, and they will determine what the best way is to tell the village what has happened. You guys know that this is definitely going to spread quickly, but you guys exit the blacksmith shop, his home, and people are asking you. There's maybe the crowd's gone down to about half the size at this. But Brother Orlin is definitely working with individual people, trying to calm them down and reassure them. A couple of people ask you what's happening, but Brother Orlin tells them to leave you alone for the moment, and you guys are able to make it back to the inn without too much of commotion.
Cool.
Okay.
Sweet.
No one died.
Yet.
Yet.
All right, so you guys make it back to the inn. You go up to your rooms.
We could have stuffed him in a barrel, but that didn't happen.
No, there's no barrels up in the forest.
There wasn't a barrel around. Was there a barrel around? No, there wasn't a barrel.
No.
You guys can all take a long rest, and that is where we will pick up next time.